Okay, think about this. Your team is probably using software right now that you've never even heard of. And while they might think it helps them work faster, well, here's the scary part. That software could be leaking your company's sensitive data as we speak. Today, we're doing a deep dive into something called shadow IT.
Yeah, shadow IT. It sounds a bit cloak and dagger, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But really, it's just any software or service your employees use for work without official approval. We're talking things like random online file converters, maybe free survey tools they found, those new AI writing assistants, even simple project apps.
Stuff they just install themselves to get a job done quickly.
Exactly. The key problem is these tools aren't vetted. They aren't monitored by IT. And, the worst part, they often end up storing your business data completely off the grid. It's usually not malicious. People genuinely think they're just being efficient. Maybe the official tool is clunky, or they need something super specific, fast. But let's take an example. Say a marketing assistant needs to merge some PDFs quickly. They find some free online tool, upload a client list, and boom. Suddenly, your confidential customer data is sitting on some unknown server, maybe in Russia, who knows. There's no logging, zero control from your side, and you definitely won't get a breach alert if something goes wrong.
Wow, okay. That paints a picture. That off-the-grid data isn't just messy, it's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
So our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear then. We need to really understand why this is such a big deal for you, the listener, and maybe more importantly, what practical steps you can actually take to fix it, to, bring that shadow stuff into the light.
Absolutely. The danger is real. It's not just about data leaks, though that's huge. Shadow IT creates massive compliance headaches, think of GDPR or high payway. It makes your whole IT environment way harder to secure properly. And it can even mean you're paying for duplicate software subscriptions you didn't even know about. Wasted money.
Okay, so it's pervasive, often invisible, and genuinely risky. Where does a business, especially maybe a smaller one, even start to tackle this? It sounds overwhelming.
It can feel that way, definitely, like you're hunting ghosts. But the good news is there are concrete, actionable things you can do. This isn't just about locking things down, it's about gaining control and visibility. First step, you have to get visibility. You need to actually find out what's being used. That means really auditing all the browser extensions and software installed across the company.
Auditing everything. That sounds like a huge job, particularly if you don't have a big IT department or budget for fancy tools. Are there simpler starting points?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Discovery is key, but you can start simpler. Even basic steps make a difference. But after you do get some initial visibility, maybe through basic network checks or endpoint scans, you can block high-risk websites using DNS filtering. It's relatively straightforward. It basically tells your network, hey, don't connect to these known sketchy or unapproved sites. It's a good first layer.
Okay, DNS filtering. That sounds manageable. What about seeing all the cloud apps people might be using?
Right. For that deeper SaaS visibility, you might look into specific SaaS management platforms, like Better Cloud, for instance. These tools are designed to discover, manage, and secure all those cloud apps your team is using, sanctioned or not. They give you a central dashboard. Even tools you might already have, like Google Workspace's Security Center, offer features to monitor app usage and permissions. It's worth checking what your current stack can do.
Got it. So discovery, then maybe some blocking that's potentially dedicated tools. What about the people side?
Crucial, absolutely crucial. You need to create an approved apps list, make it clear what tools are sanctioned and okay to use, and then education. This is so important. Don't just send out a memo saying don't use unapproved apps. Explain why it's risky. Provide a clear, easy process for employees to request a new tool if they need one, and make sure the approved alternatives are actually good and easy to use. Otherwise, people will just find workarounds again. It's really about building a culture of security awareness, not just, laying down the law.
That makes sense. It's about process and culture, not just tech.
Yeah.
It really forces you to think about what's humming away silently in the background of your business operations. This whole shadow IT thing, if it's unmanaged, it's not just a risk. It feels like an uncontrolled leak of your most valuable assets, data, money, time. A silent killer almost.
Well put. It undermines control. So, summarizing the steps again. First, audit and discover. Get that visibility. You need to know what you're dealing with. Then, start layering defenses. DNS filtering is a good start. Explore those SaaS management tools if you need more power. And absolutely, build that transparent system. Approved apps list, clear request process, and continuous education on the why.
Okay, so knowing all this now, maybe take a moment to think.
Yep.
What tools might your team be using right now that are flying completely under your radar? And perhaps more importantly, what's one single immediate step you could take, maybe even today, to start shining a light on that shadow and begin taking back control?
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you again on another episode of GTS Threat Scope. Please like, share, and subscribe if you find our content helpful. Also, please comment below and let us know which topic you would like for us to cover next. You are always invited to visit our website at gtsja.com for more ICT and cybersecurity consults and guidance.